Before their next trip, seniors should be aware of these 5 hidden risks associated with traveling over the age of 70. Have you ever questioned if it's still wise to travel at the age of 70? Even while traveling to new areas and experiencing other cultures can be thrilling, many seniors are unaware of the potential risks until they are already in danger. Travel can become more taxing, unexpected, and even dangerous as we age due to changes in our bodies and thoughts. Additionally, although some individuals believe they can maintain the same level of activity as they did when they were younger, the truth is that travel poses special difficulties after the age of 70, which can make a once ideal vacation into a stressful and potentially fatal experience. From unforeseen medical catastrophes to the hidden financial traps that can deplete your resources, we'll outline 5 key reasons why traveling over the age of 70 might be dangerous in this video. You will gain a better understanding of the difficulties seniors encounter when traveling with each point. After watching this video, you'll know why it's important to exercise additional caution when traveling at this point in your life and what to do to keep safe if you decide to go. Hold on until the very end, since many seniors never consider the final reason on our list. Nevertheless, it's among the most frequent ways that travelers waste money, time, and peace of mind. Let's get going now. First, there are more health hazards and medical crises. The greater chance of unexpected health problems is one of the main worries while traveling over the age of 70. Our bodies grow more erratic as we age, and ailments like heart disease, hypertension, and respiratory issues can suddenly become life-threatening. Getting medical care at home is simple, but when you're traveling, especially in a foreign nation or an unfamiliar region, it can be much more difficult to receive the correct care. When you're far from your usual doctor, a little health condition that may have been readily resolved at home can swiftly turn into a serious, even life-threatening, crisis. The possibility of a medical emergency is not merely hypothetical for many elderly people, it is extremely real. Long flights can raise the risk of deep vein thrombosis, another name for blood clots, particularly for people who already have health issues. High altitudes can strain the heart and lungs. Furthermore, in a strange climate, even something as basic as heat exhaustion or dehydration might strike considerably more forcefully. Additionally, seniors are more susceptible to infections, so exposure to novel bacteria and viruses in various settings may result in unanticipated illnesses. Take the case of James, a 74-year-old who has always enjoyed taking trips. He thought that taking a 2-week cruise with his wife would be a leisurely way to see new areas without putting too much strain on their bodies. However, he began to have excruciating chest pain on the 4th day of the journey. Basic care was given by the ship's medical staff, but he urgently needed a hospital. He had to wait for an emergency evacuation to the closest port because they were in the middle of the ocean, which caused an hour-long delay in treatment. Thankfully, he lived, but the event left him traumatized. He later acknowledged that he could have prevented the terrible experience that turned into what was supposed to be a dream vacation by properly weighing the hazards. Another significant concern is health insurance. Many elderly people believe that their standard health insurance will protect them wherever they go, only to discover too late that they are not insured for medical care abroad. Hospital stays, urgent procedures, and even prescription drugs might have significant out-of-pocket expenses if you don't have the proper travel insurance. In order to receive the care they require while traveling overseas, some elderly people wind up spending thousands of dollars. What then can be done? If you are over 70 and thinking of taking a trip, make sure to consult your physician first. Make sure you have all of your prescriptions with you. Have a thorough health evaluation, and talk about any possible hazards. Always do your homework on the local healthcare system. Additionally, make sure you have adequate travel insurance that covers hospital stays and emergency evacuations if you are going overseas. Because in terms of health, being ready can be the difference between a vacation that goes well and one that goes badly. Staying well is one of the most crucial parts of enjoying life beyond 70. Travel can be risky for other reasons as well. However, medical hazards are a big worry. The second is more exposure to pollutants and diseases. Increased exposure to bacteria, viruses, and foodborne infections is one of the most often disregarded risks associated with traveling over the age of 70. Public transit, crowded airports, crammed aircraft, and strange dining establishments all foster an atmosphere conducive to the growth of bacteria and viruses. A mild cold or gastrointestinal ailment could be a short-term annoyance for younger tourists. However, serious complications, hospital stays, or even long-term health setbacks can result from these infections in seniors. An older adult may get more diseases on a single trip than they would after months of living at home. Additionally, the immune system may not always be able to repel them. As we age, our immune system gradually declines, making it harder to recover from infections. Respiratory infections in particular represent a considerable risk to older persons. Seniors are more susceptible to problems from flu, pneumonia, and even regular colds, according to studies, particularly when they are exposed to novel strains of the virus from other countries. Particularly, airplanes are a haven for pathogens. Inhaling recycled air for hours at a time, passengers are frequently crammed together. Additionally, it's simple to come across diseases that your body has never encountered before because travelers from all over the world pass through airports on a daily basis. Then there is the matter of the safety of food and water. Many tourists are eager to sample cuisine from other nations. However, unexpected spices, ingredients, and cooking techniques might cause intestinal irritation in older adults. Older persons are particularly vulnerable to foodborne infections such as Salmonella, coli, and norovirus E, which can cause dehydration, extended illness, and a significantly compromised immune system. Additionally, visitors frequently lack the same defenses that residents have against certain microorganisms in their water source. Serious stomach illnesses can result from something as basic as eating a salad that has been washed with local water or drinking tap water. Germs can also be found in hotel rooms, rental automobiles, and public facilities. A lot of individuals believe that a location is safe just because it appears tidy. However, surfaces such as tray tables, seat belts, and doorknobs are rarely as thoroughly disinfected as they ought to be. Because they frequently touch public surfaces for balance, seniors who use mobility aids like walkers or canes are even more vulnerable. How, therefore, can elderly people defend themselves? Extra care must be taken if travel cannot be avoided. The chance of catching dangerous infections can be decreased by wearing a mask in busy places, washing your hands often, and keeping hand sanitizer on hand. Foodborne infections can be avoided by adhering to well-cooked meals, avoiding raw foods in strange areas, and only drinking bottled or filtered water. Additionally, it is imperative that those traveling abroad receive the proper vaccinations and bring any necessary drugs for respiratory or stomach conditions. It is possible to stay healthy when traveling, but doing so calls for alertness, planning, and a robust immune system. But there are other concerns besides health hazards. Traveling over the age of 70 can be more of a chore than a pleasure for one more reason. Additionally, it has the potential to affect not only your well-being but also your financial situation and emotional stability. Please let me know in the second remark below if you're still watching this video and finding these ideas helpful. To ensure you don't miss any videos, I advise you to subscribe and turn on the bell if you haven't already. We can keep producing high-quality content to educate and uplift you thanks to your support. Let's go ahead now. Travel tiredness and recovery issues rank third. Although traveling may seem exhilarating, seniors over 70 may experience significantly more bodily harm than they anticipated. Exhaustion from long flights, early check-ins, erratic schedules, and walking for hours can be hard to recover from. After a trip, older adults frequently experience fatigue that lasts for days or even weeks. In contrast to younger years when a restful night's sleep could rejuvenate the body. Additionally, fatigue impairs all other bodily functions, impairs immune function, impairs coordination, and increases the likelihood of disease or injury. Sleep disturbance is one of the main problems seniors encounter when traveling. Sleeping on a new bed, dealing with noisy hotels, or adjusting to different time zones can make it nearly hard to obtain sufficient rest. Sleep deprivation isn't simply about feeling sleepy. It impairs cognitive function, impairs immunity, and potentially raises the chance of heart issues. Jet lag can last far longer than anticipated because seniors who travel across multiple time zones frequently take longer to adjust. According to studies, an otherwise delightful trip can become a terrible one due to this lingering fatigue, which leaves people exhausted rather than refreshed. Then there's the physical strain problem. Long-term sitting on a bus, train, or airplane can cause swollen joints, stiff muscles, and a higher risk of blood clots. Long travel distances can cause discomfort for elderly people with circulation problems or arthritis that persists long after the trip is over. Furthermore, the physical strain of sightseeing, packing, and keeping up with planned activities can easily become too much to handle even after you reach your destination. Even an amazing vacation can rapidly devolve into a battle to stay up. Take the example of 75-year-old Richard, who has always enjoyed taking trips. After retirement, he and his wife booked a 2-week holiday overseas, expecting it would be just as pleasurable as their travels in earlier years. But after a 10-hour flight, negotiating a busy airport, and adjusting to a 6-hour time difference, Richard felt fatigued before the trip had even begun. By the second day, he had problems walking long distances, struggled to keep focused during tours, and found himself needing frequent rests. By the time he acclimated, it was almost time to travel back home, and he spent the following weeks healing from the vacation instead of savoring his memories. Another issue seniors confront is maintaining their typical diet and hydration levels. Many destinations have strange cuisine that might cause digestive troubles, and staying hydrated while on the go is often disregarded. Just being dehydrated can cause exhaustion, lightheadedness, and disorientation, making even easy tasks difficult. It's simple to understand why many seniors feel worse rather than better after a trip when combined with inadequate sleep and physical hardship. What is the answer? Then, seniors should avoid packing their schedule with back-to-back events, arrange lots of rest days, and drink enough of water if they must travel. Packing wholesome snacks, scheduling naps, and taking shorter flights with layovers to move around can all help lessen fatigue. But above all, since a vacation should be pleasurable, it is essential to identify personal boundaries and modify travel arrangements accordingly. Not something from which weeks are needed to recover. For seniors, the physical toll of travel is a major worry. However, there are other hidden dangers as well. Fourth, there is a greater chance of injuries and falls. One of the major concerns of traveling beyond 70 is the increased chance of falls and injury. As we age, our balance, reflexes, and bone density naturally deteriorate, making us more vulnerable to accidents. And while a little accident in your own house might not seem like a huge deal, a fall when traveling, especially in a foreign region, can lead to fractured bones, serious hospital visits, or even permanent mobility impairments. The reality is a single fall may transform the trajectory of a senior's life, turning what was meant to be a relaxed getaway into a painful and costly experience. Many seniors don't realize exactly how different travel environments might be from what they're used to. Uneven flooring, dimly lit stairways, and slick surfaces are common in hotels, cruise ships, and historic buildings, increasing the risk of falls. Simple tasks like getting on a bus or strolling down cobblestone streets can become unforeseen hazards in places with little to no accessibility facilities. Additionally, emergency medical services are frequently slower and less developed than they are at home, which raises the possibility of consequences even for small injuries. Consider Linda, a 78-year-old woman who had always wished to travel to Europe. She walked often in her area without any issues and was in excellent physical condition for her age. However, She soon discovered it wasn't as simple as she had assumed when she got to Italy and began negotiating the narrow, uneven streets. She broke her hip when she stumbled and fell hard one evening in a dark alley after stepping off a curb. After being taken to a nearby hospital, physicians informed her that surgery was necessary. In addition to having to shorten her trip, she had to recuperate for months after returning home. She wishes she had never taken the trip that was supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime. Another key factor is weariness. Traveling generally requires long days, unpredictable eating regimens, and altered sleep patterns, all of which can compromise balance and coordination. When the body is weary, reaction times drop down, making a misstep or stumble more likely. And for seniors with arthritis or joint problems, long walks through airports, rail stations, or tourist sites can create swelling and discomfort, raising the risk of a sudden loss of stability. So how can seniors lessen the risk? If travel is required, it can be beneficial to pick easily accessible locations, stay away from dangerous regions with uneven terrain, and wear appropriate footwear at all times. Supportive footwear, walking sticks, and getting enough sleep can also have a significant impact. Above all, it's important to understand your own constraints because no vacation is worth compromising your long-term freedom and mobility. Please let me know in the fourth comment below if you're still viewing this video and finding these ideas helpful. To ensure you don't miss any videos, I advise you to subscribe and turn on the bell if you haven't already. We can keep producing high-quality content to educate and uplift you thanks to your support. Let's go ahead now. Fifth, financial risks and travel insurance. One of the most unexpected dangers of traveling after 70 isn't just about health. It's about the financial risks that come with it. Many elderly people believe that they can just rely on their insurance or personal savings in the event that they encounter difficulties while traveling. However, the truth is that medical crises, trip cancellations, and even financial frauds can deplete a person's finances more quickly than they may think. A well-planned vacation can become a financial nightmare for many seniors due to a single unforeseen circumstance, leaving them with excessive costs and worry. Medical treatment overseas is one of the most cost hazards. Many elderly people are unaware that treatment abroad is frequently not covered by their standard health insurance. This implies that you may be liable for thousands of dollars in medical expenses if you become ill or are hurt while traveling. Emergency medical evacuations, like being airlifted to a proper hospital, can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Even in nations where healthcare is more reasonably priced, seniors may be forced to choose between foregoing necessary care or paying a hefty out-of-pocket charge if they do not have the proper travel insurance. Then there's the problem of canceled travel. Assuming that they would be healthy when the time comes, many seniors plan their vacations months in advance. However, life is not always predictable. Health concerns can occur quickly, necessitating a vacation to be postponed or canceled completely. Unfortunately, many airlines, hotels, and cruise lines have tight regulations that don't allow refunds for last-minute cancellations, meaning seniors can lose thousands of dollars if they have to reschedule their plans. It may be very difficult to get that money back without the right trip insurance. Scams and fraud pose a significant financial risk in addition to medical expenses and cancellations. Travelers who prey on seniors are frequently the target of scammers who use strategies like phony taxi services, overcharging for basic goods, or even complex schemes intended to steal credit card information, because they are less likely to notice a scam in real time. Many scammers specifically target older adults who appear unfamiliar with their surroundings. In certain instances, criminals exploit elderly people by presenting them with phony vacation offers that ultimately prove to be nothing more than costly scams. Consider the situation of George, a 76-year-old man who had always been careful with his money. He booked a fantasy vacation to a tropical island, making sure to save money for every component of the trip. But when he arrived, he learned the hotel he booked didn't exist. He had fallen for an online scam, and by the time he figured it out, his money was gone. With nowhere to stay, he had to scramble to find another hotel, paying double what he had budgeted just to have a place to sleep. A tense financial nightmare followed him home after what should have been a restful trip. How, therefore, can elderly people defend themselves? First and foremost, make sure that international travel is covered by your health insurance. If not, purchase a comprehensive travel insurance policy that covers both medical emergencies and trip cancellations. Second, only use trustworthy companies when making travel arrangements. Stay away from offers that look too good to be true. Third, when traveling, exercise additional caution when handling your finances. Don't carry a lot of cash. Be careful who can access your credit card information. And never give out personal financial information to strangers. Even though traveling can be thrilling, these financial risks show that after the age of 70, extra care must be taken. Travel is a risk that not all seniors are ready to accept because of the unforeseen expenses, the potential for financial loss from scams, and the extreme unpredictability of medical situations. Does this, however, imply that you should never go on another trip? Not always. Last words. We've just discussed 5 significant reasons why traveling beyond 70 comes with serious risks. Risks that many seniors don't consider until they're encountering them personally. From unforeseen health issues to injuries, tiredness, infections, and financial difficulties. Each of these challenges can turn what should be a relaxing trip into a stressful, even deadly experience. While travel may seem like an exciting way to spend retirement, the reality is that after a certain age, it requires much more planning, caution, and awareness than it did in younger years. But does that mean seniors should never travel? Not always. It simply means that people over 70 need to adjust the way they think about traveling. Selecting closer, safer options that don't strain the body as much might be preferable to exhausting long-haul flights, stressful tours, and dangerous destinations. Safety and enjoyment can be greatly improved by visiting nearby attractions, traveling shorter distances, or concentrating on locations with convenient access to medical care, instead of causing new issues that persist long after the trip is over. Travel should improve people's lives. Think carefully about the possible difficulties if you or a loved one is thinking about traveling after the age of 70. Can you manage the trip with your current state of health? Do you have the correct travel insurance to safeguard against financial risks? Have you chosen a destination that is secure and accessible for your needs? These questions may not seem interesting to ask, but answering them honestly could prevent extra worry and difficulty down the future. At the end of the day, longevity isn't just about adding years to life. It's about making sure those years are lived with quality, independence, and peace of mind. If avoiding unnecessary travel means staying healthier and safer, then it's worth reconsidering the risk before booking that next flight. We appreciate you being here with us today. We would be delighted to hear from you. Tell us about one thing you learned today and how you intend to apply it in your life in the comments section below. We value your opinions, so please feel free to express them. We are greatly inspired and encouraged by reading your remarks. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it entertaining and useful. We can keep producing high-quality content to educate and uplift you thanks to your support. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the upcoming video. By https://otter.ai. Transcription